Hello. I'm here. I just want to jump on really quick. I got some great growth going on out here in my garden. Um, if you can see, I got a green stalk behind me. Look at this broccoli. I'm in zone 7A. The leaves are about as big as my hand. I've got some celery. I just put in some more strawberries. Of them up in this pot. Look at the collard greens. They are way bigger than my hand. Look at that. I'm going to probably harvest some of these soon. I have collard greens, and cabbage, and carrots. And here, I have snap peas. I have collard greens and carrots. And then over here, I've got kohlrabi. What is this? What else do I have? Oh, I have a different kind of cabbage. Sorry. Have a different kind of cabbage, kohlrabi. I have carrots growing up in here and lettuce. And so I actually found some tulips that were in my refrigerator. Um, those of you that know me know that I plant tons of tulips. And I found some tulips that were in my refrigerator. I've been trying to wait for a perfect time to plant them. And so now is the best time as any, I think. So what I'm doing is I'm potting them up in some, just some extra pots that I had, just because I'm going to see if it'll work. They've been in the refrigerator. I've got some good potting soil. I'm putting them inside of, I'm planting them egg crate just like I would do in the winter time. And I'm putting them inside of some different planters. And I'm going to see, fingers crossed, possibly if I can get some more tulips um, before the summer hits. So it takes about 6 weeks for them to come up. This month is April 13th, April, May. I'm thinking that I can get them to sprout before the heat. It'll get hot for us in May too, but it'll still possibly be cool enough that they'll make it. I have some ranunculus that are about done, not because it's too hot, just because I haven't been watering them, taking care of them. So, oops, I forgot the bulb tone. So I'm gonna drop some bulb tone in this. I forgot the bulb tone. Shoot, running my mouth. But I'm gonna drop some bulb tone in this. But I think I can still maybe get these tulips. I'm going to experiment and see. If so, this will be so cool because it'll give me a second flush of tulips for the year. You usually plant them in the fall, but I've had these that I found late last fall in the refrigerator. And I honestly did not want to go plant them. I thought I'm going to experiment. I just thought I will experiment. So I'm going to move my chair and bring the pot that I have the ranunculus in up here. I'm going to move this so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just using it more for a table so that you all can see. But I've got this pot that my ranunculus is in. Oh, it's kind of heavy. That's why I'm going to put it in the chair. And I want to try to put some tulips in here. So I'm going to tilt this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I want to try to get some tulips in here. There's this one ranunculus plant. I'll go ahead and harvest that for tonight. I'm going to take this out. This was growing in another pot, and I just moved it to that pot. And as you can see, I still have a lily growing. I do not want to disturb that lily. What I try to do is I try to plant enough plants where I can have bulbs growing in every season. So I want things blooming in March, which is usually tulips. In April, I usually have tulips or ranunculus. In May, peonies. The peonies have already started. In June, I'll usually have lilies. Of course, I will be putting in like my zinnia, sunflowers, and all the things. I have some sunflowers that overseeded last year that reseeded themselves. I noticed those were in some beds across over at what I call my farm. I have those coming up over there. And I plant dahlias, I plant the sunflowers, zinnias. I already have bachelor button. I have Orlea, baby's breath. All that stuff is already blooming. So I've got enough to make some bouquets with that. And I am now going to try to see if I can get a second flush of tulips. That would be super cool. So just so you know, wherever, if you get cold, so like zone 1 to about 8, you can probably do it in zone 9 and 10, but you'll really have to play a game of buying tulips. You'll have to put them in the refrigerator, keep them for about 16 to 19 weeks, and then you would plant them. But it may get way too hot because tulips kind of blow or just kind of burst open once you hit the heat. So that's why I'm going to plant them and see if I can kind of trick the weather with them. And I am dumping all of this because I need to give them the best. This is some gardening soil mixed with potting soil, but I want to give them the best scenario to be able to grow. And garden soil just holds way too much water. It holds way more water than potting soil does. And so I'm dumping this garden soil out, and I'm just going to put some potting soil. So therefore, if we get some rain, it'll just freely drain through it. So I'm going to use the Happy Frog potting soil. I want my tulips to be about 6 inches deep. I know my hand is 6 inches, so I just start at the top of the pot, and that's about 6 inches right there. So put a little more so it'll be level. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pack that in there. Let's see, I think I might have put a little bit too much. That's okay, put some of that on top of there. But I want that to be level. Now I'm about 6 inches all the way around. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm gonna take a little bulb tone. And I'm gonna sprinkle that along the base of it before I put the tulips in. I want to give them the best chance that they can to survive. And now I'm gonna just pour these and plant them like an egg crate, like if they were eggs in a basket. I'm excited to possibly get another flush of tulips. I think there's probably 100. I planted one pot like this already, and then I thought, oh man, I need to capture this online in case if it works. And so this would be the second pot, and I just plant them egg crate style because I'm gonna um I'm gonna pull them, and I put the whole thing in vases. My tulips are about 24 inches tall, so they're super long tulips, and I get them for vases so that I can have bouquets, and I give away bouquets. I don't sell them, but I give away bouquets every year for free. I think I may have too many to put in this pot, so this doesn't look like this pot's gonna hold them all. And if it doesn't, then I will just pot up a whole nother pot. And I'm literally putting them one next to the other, super, super thin. And soon they will probably start sprouting, I would say in about a week. And hopefully I can have a full-blown tulip in less than 6 weeks. And that should beat the heat of our summer. I'm in 7A. We can get to 100 degrees outside. They're not gonna do anything in that type of weather. But even, getting 80s consistently and humidity being high, that will cause them to blow. Okay, so I've got them all potted up. Let me see if I can squeeze them a little closer to get these last two. Now this one is probably not going to do anything. That is a molded tulip. Here's another one. I am not planting those two things. Those two, no way. Oh, here's another molded one. I didn't see that one. So take those out. I don't fool with molded tulips. So I've kind of seen a few more. See those? Not too bad, but bad enough that I don't want to plant those. They don't have any life left in those. So I'm going to replace these. I can see little buds on these already, so these are ready to grow. Look at there. Those are ready to grow. So if this works, I'm going to end up having 2 tulip seasons next year. Because what I'll do is I'll save some just like I did this year. I just decided not to go out and plant those. And if what you see, you just see me replacing ones that I'm not sure that have any life to them. And I don't want to waste them. I can put them in their own container. Ooh, I see a bulb coming out of that one. Look at that one. See? That lets me know that's ready to grow. So I will put that one in there. So let's show you what I do. See? Can you see how close together those are? That's how flower farmers, that's how we plant our tulips, because we want them to be super close. We don't want them to be at a distance. We want them to be close. I'm going to pour more potting soil on top of those. And I'm going to put a little more bulb tone just because I'm planting all this out of season. And I think I'm going to grab a little bone meal and put in there too. Let me grab that. I was planting strawberries. And as I was planting the strawberries, I thought about that. And said, "I'm hydrated out there. I'm going to do my best. Thank you. Man, you must have a green thumb with all the many plants in your background." So I wrote a book about gardening. I started gardening about 4 years ago. I'm a counselor. I'm a therapist. I was doing it for a horticulture program at our counseling office. And I ended up falling in love with gardening. And I started at a little 15 by 15 plot on my property that was already built there when we bought this place. And I just have fallen in love, and I've expanded across the street on about an acre lot that we have. And I garden in raised beds. I garden in everything. So in my book, I tell the different ways that you can garden. I'll throw it out there. It's called I Crave, goes along with the book. So I is in ground, C you can do containers, R is raised beds, A is aeroponics or hydroponically, V is vertical planters, and E is elevated planters. So elevated planters would be the one that I have over there. So that would be just considered a raised bed. This kind right here are raised beds. And then these are vertical planters. Those are what my strawberries are in. I have some extra broccoli and tulips, and broccoli and strawberries in those planters. And so I do a lot of strawberries in our planters. But this year I'm trying to grow a year's worth of food. Oh my gosh. And for one person, just to see if I can do it, I'm just challenging myself. And so, and I'm also trying to teach people that you can grow in small spaces. So this is my patio. I'm trying to show people that you can grow in a small space. You could grow just in this corner. This is like the corner going into my house. You could grow just in that corner if you wanted to. You don't even have to have something as big as I have, but I'm just trying to show people that you can do small space gardening. So I enjoy it. I'm going to water these jokers in. I'm not going to water that in until I move that pot. That pot's kind of heavy. I don't like this level of the soil. I want it to come all the way up. So it's still a little low. So that's still about 3 more inches. And I'm going to add the gardening soil back on top of there because it wouldn't hold the water. I don't want that water being held right next to the tulips. So that's why I put the potting soil. But now I'll add the gardening soil back to it. And that's it. So y'all, I will let you know if I get any tulips. This is going to be a very interesting experiment. I've never done this before. And I'm excited to see what happens. Because if it works, y'all, if it works, all the tulips have now, this is April 13th. And as of last week, all the tulips have now bloomed here. And like I said, I've got 3 peonies that bloomed last night. I cut my first three. So now I'm kind of going into peony season. They'll bloom between April, May, and June. I have early, mid, and late peonies. And then the lilies will start blooming. And then after that, I'll be going to a bunch of annuals. My annuals will start kicking out in July, August, September, October. And I'll have all the dahlias and the zinnias and the sunflowers and all the things. But these are more perennial plants. If I would cut the tulips right, they come back every year. But I want the long stems. So if you cut them, usually you're not going to get the 22, 24 inches the next year. You'll get about a, I've had some that came back 12 inches, maybe 12, 14, but I like the super long ones. So, anyways, I just want to jump on here and show you. Somebody said, I love strawberries. Hey, it saves money with how I know, right? It's going to be very interesting. And I kind of have a motto, eat what you grow. So, y'all, if you know what to do, I know you can freeze broccoli. I'm not a broccoli casserole person. I like steamed broccoli, roasted broccoli. But if you know anything else to do with broccoli, let me know. Kohlrabi, this is my first time even eating it. I'm growing it for a friend, but I said I would try it since I'm growing it. Eat what you grow. Um, and cabbage, I've had fried cabbage before. I hate to just pull a recipe offline that I haven't tried, but I tried fried cabbage somewhere, and so I'm gonna try somebody's fried cabbage recipe and boiled cabbage. That's the only thing I know to make with cabbage. If y'all know anything, please let me know. And then, of course, carrots. I love carrots. I know how to cook those. But I am trying to grow an entire year potatoes, everything, and freeze it. I've planted about 2,500 strawberry roots because I want to make strawberry jam. I want to make strawberry like concentrate for tea. Somebody said, I live in Illinois. I appreciate the live stream. It's nice to have some positivity. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm all about that. So I try to jump on here from time to time. My name is Shelly Cheers. I do have a YouTube page, and I have a Facebook page. It's called the Grow Challenge. Let's Grow Together Challenge. It's not too late to join. I want to inspire 1,000 people to learn to garden. I love gardening, and it's so great for mental health. It helps to regulate your nervous system. And so I have somewhere that I have to be in a few minutes, but I had to get my hands in the dirt before I grew. And one of the things I also do, I try to spread joy. So I give away 200 bouquets a year to people. And people in my small community, I live in a small town, people in my community donate vases and stuff to me, and I buy some of the vases. But let me show you this lettuce. I just got to show you the lettuce because I just looked over there and it's so cool. But again, I'm trying to grow in every way except in ground. I'm not doing in ground again. I did not enjoy it. I took care of 3 gardens last year, including my own. So look at this lettuce. This lettuce came out, I planted it a few weeks ago, and that is a peach tree that's got a lot of growing to do. And then this is going to be, does anybody know what that is? Anybody can tell what that is? That is celery. And so, but look at this lettuce. Look at there. It's time to cut it. So that's about the size of my hand. I am going to cut these for salad this week. That is 3 things of lettuce, and that's another peach tree. And here's another small lettuce. That one is catching up. It's a lot smaller. And then I also have some carrots in here. So, y'all, that's pretty cool, right? So we're going to have salad this week. But just wait. I'm going to try to hide. The reason I put the lettuce here is because it will bolt, meaning it'll go to seed when it gets real hot. Again, I'm in 7A. We get super hot. But the way that my patio is built, I can put a table in the corner and I can set these containers on, the table, and then I can kind of hide them with the green stalks so they won't possibly, they'll still grow, but they won't bolt. So some of it is me playing with the science and the personality of the plant. I understand what the plant needs. It needs some warm weather, but it doesn't like extreme heat. So if I hide it back there and maybe even put a shade cloth over it, I can bring the temperature down 15 to 20 degrees and trick it and make it think it's still growing in the conditions it wants without being having exposure to full sun and all the things. Um, Somebody said I had to say the peach tree is pretty adorable. Yes, and it's a new one. It started literally with the little bud on it whenever I got it. And so we'll see. I don't think it'll have any peaches this year, but um, maybe next year. So I don't know. We'll see. I've found that fruit trees have been the most difficult for me to grow, has been fruit trees. I have apples. I have a peach tree over there that has 3 buds on it right now. I have an apricot tree, even grapes. I've gotten grapes to almost, they've gotten kind of marble size, but didn't go full. I don't know what I did. So if y'all know some grape whisperer, tag them in my comments, please, so that I can please glean and learn. I feel like I'm doing everything that I know to do, but maybe I'm not watering enough. Maybe I'm not giving it the right nutrients. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe it's just not old enough yet to produce. But anyways, I just wanted to show you about the tulips. I'm going to water them in. If it works, it's going to be so exciting to be able to trick tulips to grow a couple of times, because I would love to have even more tulips to take me into May when all the peonies really show. There's a couple of them, the coral peony and the Sarah Burkhart, is that how you say it? I think those two are the ones that have already bloomed so far, but it would be really cool to have tulips to take me all the way in to the full-blown peony season. Okay, thanks so much, y'all. I hope you learned a little bit. And if you don't grow tulips, grow tulips. They go on sale like in Tulip World and some of those other spots. You can get 50 for $15 in August and September. So that's a cheat code. You can get a bunch of them dirt cheap, but you get 50, a mixed bag, 50 for $15. I showed you how to do it. Fill it up, water it in, and just let it grow. Put it in potting soil, not gardening soil. Gardening soil goes in the ground, it holds water, it stays really wet. They'll get mushy and they'll die. Put them in potting soil and you plant them right as it gets frost time in your time of year. I usually plant mine about Thanksgiving, and I want it to be cold. I'm in Kentucky, so 7A. Your grow zone will help you know what to grow. Your personality grows. Your veggies and plants grow in a certain zone. They have a personality, and once you know the zone they love to grow in, it's super easy to grow a lot of the fruit. I mean, a lot of the veggies and the plants that we have. The fruit is what I got to figure out, because most of this fruit grows in zones like 8, 9, and 10. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm hot. Most of this fruit grows in zones 8, 9, and 10. And I've got to figure out a way. We still get almost too cold. Like I've got blueberries and peach trees and stuff like that in my sunroom, because we dropped down to the 30s the other day, and that's just way too cold. Like Florida doesn't get that cold. So I've got to figure out a way. I may just have to put them all in my greenhouse and just leave them so that I tried to put them outside already, had to take them back in, all the things. So that could be why I'm not having a lot of success. And then the ones in the ground, I think my apple tree got some kind of disease last year. My peach tree got some kind of disease. So I'm checking the diseases this year so that I can spray them, and hopefully I can get them to grow. Okay, I'll see you later. I gotta go. Bye-bye, yeah. Have a great day. Bye.